In this lesson, we'll continue editing our deformations. We have the elbow to work on, and we can also do a little bit of refinement to the upper arm. As we saw in the last lesson, the enveloping of the elbow looked really nasty. It looks pretty problematic to fix, but if we were to take a closer look at this, selecting our mesh, selecting all of these points that are giving us problems, and go over to our weight tool, what we can see is that a lot of these are weighted to the head bone. So if we were to go ahead and select that head bone and zero these out, notice how much better that looks already. There's a few more points on the arm we can definitely tweak. Before we even do that, notice these points that are still stranded. Okay, they're still weighted fully to the head, when it looks like we can bring them to the forearm. Now, because we didn't add any animation, you can see that our envelope bones are still in skin pose. So what we can always do is bring our controller back to transform to 0 and go ahead and just add some animation. Alright. So selecting the mesh, we could head over back to the weight tool, those points selected. I'm going to go ahead and choose the forearm bone and set a full weight of 1. And that should fix that issue. And we have some points at the back to tweak too, so we could select those and set those to a full weight of 1 coming from that forearm. And notice already the elbow looks much better. Before we smooth that area out, let's say we go ahead and move up to the upper arm. It looks like it has some points that are weighted to the head bone, so we'll want to go ahead and tweak that. Here's the head, and here's what happens when we zero that out. Alright, so something that looked probably very problematic is actually quite easy to fix. Okay, so now we can go ahead and move in and add some refinement. I'll actually head over back to the weight brush. You can go ahead and paint more to the elbow. Use that weight brush to bring some points back, and I'll actually go back to our value, bring that to 0.1. Okay. So it's actually looking pretty good. I'd say from here we can kind of fix the creasing, kind of bring some of this in on both sides. So to do that, can select our arm bone, head over back to our weight brush and bring a few of these points closer so we can kind of close in this gap. And we'll do the same thing with the forearm. Okay, actually undo that. Let's see, I think that looks pretty good. So as we scrub back and forth, here's what we get. And notice we're keeping that volume in the elbow. Can always select our control and head over to the modify panel. Go ahead and add that some twisting, and we can get an idea of how that looks. Let's also see how our twist bones look on the arm. Alright, again, notice how we get that volume right back. I love this setup. If it hadn't been for that, notice what we get, that area collapsing. And again, try rendering your character with results like that, it's not going to look nice. But by adding some simple rotation to this twist control, we get that volume right back. I tell you, rigging is very exciting at times. I should say most of the time. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and zero back the twist. You can go ahead and remove these keys. And with that finished, we can go ahead and work on the upper arm, getting that tweaked, and at the same time kind of tweak out the shoulder. And then once that's good, it's really just a matter of going back, adding a little bit more of refinement to some of the areas that we blocked out. And then afterwards, we can mirror our weights over, do some minor tweaks, and call our character finished. So, again, we just have a few more tasks to do, and our character will be complete.